Today's headlines: Rody waits for divine tweet. NCR Plus remains under GCQ. Cusi, majority make PDP-Laban tidy. Displaced drivers OFW on DoTr priority list. Philippines to donate $1 million to COVAX facility. Racal confirms a relationship with Rico Blanco. Kay Sotto set for Gilas reunion. Dante continues to move towards Eastern Visayas. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Tuesday, June 1, and now the news. What will convince President Rodrigo Duterte to run for Vice President in the 2022 elections? A message from God, according to Malacanang. Or it may have been given by the PDP-Laban, his political party, right away yesterday. In a televised briefing on Monday, Duterte spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque maintained that the chief executive's decision would depend on divine intervention. The palace official added that the president would announce his political plans for next year's election in due time. While the palace and the president wait, Sara Duterte, the chief executive's daughter and incumbent Davao City mayor, may have received her signs quite earlier. The Davao leader remains coy about the call, but members of the House of Representatives believe that the loudest statements were those from various groups of supporters who sang a mash-up of different songs they have composed for the president's daughter. President Rodrigo Duterte on Monday kept the Metro Manila and nearby provinces under general community quarantine with restrictions until the end of June. The capital region, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, and Rizal, collectively known as NCR Plus, have been under GCQ with heightened restrictions since May 15 after more than a month of strict community quarantine. The stricter restrictions in NCR Plus, which accounts for 60% of the Philippines' gross domestic product, were imposed by the government in an effort to restrict mobility and amid the fresh surge in COVID cases. The Department of Health said coronavirus infections in Metro Manila were now plateauing, although cases were on a downward trend. The country has so far recorded 1.23 million COVID cases with nearly 21,000 fatalities. In other news, Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves, a political ally of Senator Manny Pacquiao, attempted to stop the ruling PDP-Laban's National Council meeting in Cebu City on Monday, insisting that it was unauthorized. It was only a whimper compared to the overwhelming acceptance by the party to reorganize the PDP-Laban, whose officials are overstaying their supposed 2-year terms. Before that, some 130 of the party's 159 members signed a resolution asking President Rodrigo Duterte, the PDP-Laban chair, to accept their plea for him to run as their vice presidential bet. The sweetener was their decision to give the president the privilege to pick his presidential running mate, which at this time is split between his daughter Davao Mayor Sara Duterte and Senator Bongo, the former special assistant to the president. The assembly was also held with President Duterte's blessing, as it was him who gave Cusi, the party's vice chair, the authority to conduct the party assembly. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Hatch something big! The all-new Honda City hatchback with 4 seating modes. Utility mode, long mode, tall mode, refresh mode. The all-new City hatchback. Hatch more life!
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Viber now.
The Department of Transportation on Monday said it is prioritizing the employment of displaced drivers and conductors of PUVs, as well as overseas Filipino workers in its projects such as the Philippine National Railways Clark Phase 1 project. Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade said some former 200 OFWs are now working in the project, as he encouraged more displaced OFWs to sign up. Tugade also called on other displaced workers in the transport sector, including PUV drivers who lost their jobs due to the pandemic, to work in DoTr projects. At least 7,500 workers were employed during the construction of the project, while 2,000 additional jobs will be made available once the project becomes operational. President Rico Blanco said the Philippines would donate $1 million to the World Health Facility-led vaccine sharing pool, which seeks to make anti-coronavirus jobs accessible to all countries. In his televised meeting with the Pandemic Task Force, DoTr said the government's donation to the COVAX facility would show the state's gratitude to other donors of the global initiative, which included the Philippines among its beneficiaries for COVID-19 vaccines. The Philippines has received about 520,600 doses of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine doses, which arrived in 2 batches on March 4 and 7. Another 193,050 doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine from the global initiative arrived on May 10, which were administered as first doses and second doses. At present, the COVID-19 vaccination of health workers, senior citizens, and persons with comorbidities are happening simultaneously using the jabs developed by Pfizer-BioNTech, Sinovac, AstraZeneca, and Russia's Gamaleya. The country aims to vaccinate around 58 million Filipinos this year to achieve population protection against COVID-19. In showbiz, young kapamilya actress Racal finally gives light to the real deal between her and OPM icon Rico Blanco, that they are happy together. Romantic rumors involving the two hit the headlines last March when Racal greeted the musician on his birthday. Many, however, supported the two despite sharing a 25-year age gap. Blanco is 48, while Racal is 23. In 2018, Racal sought Blanco's creative input for her music. In 2019, they worked together in the song Abot Langit. We will be back. Stay with us. In sports, Sotto made his way back home, a surprising development that came at the height of his preparation for his professional career in the National Basketball League in Australia. But whether could suit up or not is a different story. Sotto will have a very tight schedule upon his arrival. He has to undergo a 2-week hotel quarantine and has to test negative on his 7th day before being allowed to go home. The earliest he could join Gilas is around June 14, but it could be too late as the federation feels that it could mess up the chemistry being established by Program Director Tab Baldwin and Head Coach Jong Uwico. Tropical storm Dante continues to move northwestward, heading towards Eastern Visayas at 20 km per hour, according to State Weather Bureau Pag-asa's latest update Tuesday early morning. The center of Tropical Storm Dante was estimated based on all available data at the 310 kilometers east of Surigao City, Surigao del Norte, or 380 kilometers east of Maasin City, Southern Leyte, with maximum sustained winds of 75 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 90 kilometers per hour. Tropical Storm Dante is forecast to bring moderate to heavy rains over Eastern Visayas, the northern portion of Cebu including Bantayan and Camotes Islands, Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Agusan del Norte, Sorsogon, and Masbate. Light to moderate with at times heavy rains are also likely over Catanduanes, Albay, Camarines Sur, Misamis Oriental, Agusan del Sur, Camiguin, Bukidnon, Davao Region, and Soxargen, as well as the rest of Central Visayas. Metro Manila, meanwhile, is expected to have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Andy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.